Hi, I'm Jenny and welcome to Eat, Baila, Travel, a channel for foodies, salseros, y aventureros. In this vlog, we're venturing into the city of Zacatecas, located in the state of Zacatecas, northwest of Mexico City. This particular episode is very special to me because Zacatecas is where my mom and my family are from. So this is not only a travel vlog, it's an opportunity to do some heritage exploration and learn about the art, architecture, and complicated history that Zacatecas has. If you've been following us, you may have seen an earlier episode where we visit Kevin's family in Veracruz. So part of this journey, as we've mentioned, is to learn more about ourselves and where we come from, and I'm really excited to have that opportunity today. Let's start with this city's impressive colonial architecture.
I can't believe we barely started our architecture tour and you already stopped us for an esquite.
Me? You're the one eating it.
It's good, man.
I saw that there was no line and I had to stop because normally the line is from here all the way to that bus stop. You know what it is? It's these salsas. It's what y'all call salsa macha in Veracruz, huh? Walking around here is like an outdoor museum. This particular architecture, if I'm not mistaken, if I can recall my study abroad art history class in Spain correctly, I think this is Barroco or Baroque architecture. One of the popular styles in, I forget what century. Somebody help me out. I'm sure someone out there has to know the art and century. Any art gurus out there, let me know, comment below, because I would really disappoint my art history teacher right now. Across from La Catedral, you have a market type building. I haven't been able to figure out the name of this building, but it's full of a bunch of cool shops. There's art shops, wine shops, and best of all, souvenirs. Oh, and of course, jewelry. Did I mention that Zacatecas is known for its silver? You may have not heard of that because it's a mining city. So of course, there are tons of jewelry and silver stores all over the city. I like the vibe here. I wasn't sure that I would. I thought it was going to be kind of boring. Even with the pandemic, there are some things that are missing. But even so, like, it's cool. I like all the outdoors, patios, and restaurants. It's Zacatecas is a great city to visit if you like art, colonial architecture, Mexican history, mezcal, and even wine. Mostly though, it's known for its role in the Mexican Revolutionary War and for being the world's largest producer of silver. When you visit Zacatecas, one of the must-do activities is to visit El Cerro de la Bufa. This is a great place to come and explore, but also learn about the role of Zacatecas in the Mexican Revolutionary War. Previously inhabited by the indigenous tribes of the Zacatecos, El Cerro de la Bufa played an important part in the Mexican Revolutionary War. This event is known as La Toma de Zacatecas. Pancho Villa and his men stormed the city and defeated the federal army of then President/dictator Victoriano Huerta. This event was the single most important battle in the Mexican Revolutionary War and did away with half of the city's population, making it one of the most tragic and bloodiest events in history. To learn more about the Mexican Revolutionary War, We have a few resources that we recommend that you can check out in the description below. There's a quick 10-minute YouTube video that goes through an overview of the war, as well as a quick read of a book that we highly recommend. And of course, last but not least, while you're in Zacatecas, definitely take advantage of visiting El Museo de la Toma de Zacatecas to learn more about the role that the city played in the war, but also more about the context around the Mexican Revolution. Just to give a little bit of context, Mexico's been in a state of economic and political instability for a long time. The Mexican Revolutionary War officially began in 1914 when Francisco Madero was president, but the war was cooking up even before that while Porfirio Diaz was president. Now, Porfirio Diaz was president for 30 years and eliminated, in many ways, any kind of opposition and did not allow opposing political parties to run against him. So the fact that he was president for 30 years, in many definitions, might make him a dictator. But as we are learning, it kind of depends on who you ask. We were on the tour that we just took here at the Cerro de la Bufa. The other couple next to us described Porfirio Diaz as the best president that Mexico's ever had. I think some people might argue that the economic growth that Mexico experienced during that time was significant. And yes, Porfirio did do a lot to help grow the Mexican economy, but it was at the expense of indigenous Mexicans and the lower class. These are problems that continue to manifest in Mexico today. Because I'm still learning about the Mexican Revolutionary War and Mexican history and the leaders that Mexico has had, I still don't feel like I am in a position to have an opinion on someone like Porfirio Diaz. But if there's anyone out there that does have an opinion, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Please leave your comments below and help me reflect on what these leaders have done for Mexico and what kind of impact they've had. Because classism continues to be a huge issue in Mexico today. Oppression of indigenous and lower class is a huge issue. So I feel like it may come from a lot of that, but there are a lot of people who say that, you know, they wish that someone like Porfirio Diaz was still around.
Una, dos, tres. ¡Arriba la Revolución Mexicana! Qué bonito gritaron, ya ven que les trataba.
Another fun thing to do while you're visiting Zacatecas is to ride the Teleferico to get a bird's eye view of the city. Let's hope we don't get stuck midair.
What?
From the Ferris wheel in Chicago to the Teleferico in Zacatecas, it's always fun. By the way, did you know that the word Zacatecas comes from the indigenous language of Nahuatl, which means place where there is an abundance of grass everywhere? Which is why if you ask Mexicans what that green stuff growing out of the grass is, we're gonna say it's zacate. Other countries in Latin America might tell you that it's césped. Now let's go back 300 years before the Mexican Revolution to the time of the Spanish colonial period. The Spanish became interested in Zacatecas when they discovered its gold, silver, and precious minerals, and that's when they established the mines. We're going to start today by visiting La Mina del Eden. There are two entrances to La Mina del Eden. We came in through the back entrance, so we have to walk through to the other side. Check this out. The mine tour cost 100 pesos per person and was guided the entire time. The tour guide shared the history, stories, and urban legends that live inside the mines. The Spanish started to exploit this mine and the native population in 1586 and yielded immense wealth. For the Spanish, this mine was their paradise, hence the name the Mine of Eden. For the natives, this mine was hell. Workers were paid slave wages and worked in dangerous conditions. People died every day for all kinds of reasons. And when parents died, their children were often called upon to fill their shoes to repay any owed debt. One legend says that the famous tacos envenenados were inspired by the mines. As miners ate their lunch in the mines, the toxic dust landed on their food and many died of poisoning by the minerals they ingested. At least, that's one theory on the tacos envenenados. Be sure to check out our Zacatecas food vlog for more stories and theories. While Mina del Eden was officially shut down in 1960, the state of Zacatecas continues to be the world's leading producer of silver. There are anywhere between 60 and 80 mines in the state, yielding a variety of precious stones and minerals. You can not only visit the mine by day, but also by night. The world's only nightclub in a mine is here, and admission ranges between 150 to 250 pesos, depending on the season. Zacatecas is a city full of art and some amazing museums. The Museo Rafael Coronel is in an old convent whose ruins were partially restored to hold the largest collection of pre-Hispanic masks. The masks were kinda creepy, so if that's not your thing, the museum is worth visiting even if it's just to admire the old convent. On our way to visit the Museum of Francisco Goitia, we walked by the Parque Sierra de Alica. It's a beautiful park to take a walk, pictures, and just relax. Behind the park is the Museum of Francisco Goitia. Considered the most Mexican of Mexican artists, the museum is inside the former Casa de Gobernadores, a beautiful mansion on its own. I hope you enjoyed exploring the city of Zacatecas with me. There's definitely much more to this city than I previously thought. There's just one experience that we didn't get to share with you, and that's the Callejoneada. The Callejoneadas are street or alley parties with live tamborazo and lots of mezcal. Those are currently suspended because of the pandemic, but I hope to return someday and show you a Callejoneada, or even better, I hope that you get to visit and experience one yourself. Before we close out this video, I just want to give a quick shout out and thanks to two Chicago-based tamborazo groups, Tamborazo Herencia Zacatecana and Tamborazo Express. Thank you so much for your music in today's video.
Nada más se cuidan porque está muy frío para bañarte en Zacatecas.